Susan Live, the place to come every Sunday for your questions, for what's popping for you. This week's question is based on a question that came in from one of our members at Congruent Living. And if you didn't know this, you can come in with your questions all week long. What's popping for you? Let me know. Share it with the community, because there's no such thing as a question that is just yours alone. You might think it is. Like, we all walk around with this in our head. It's like, oh my God, I'm working through this. How do I do this? You're not alone. I've got your back. We've got an amazing group of members from all over the world who are popping in right now. And I'm so thrilled to be sharing this question with you, because it's, again, you're not alone. This is something that other people, clients and people here have been asking me. So I'm just going to read this to you. Hey, Susan, I have so many possibilities, willing to create different futures for me, and all of it is so interesting. I'm choosing to consciously make choices to create the future I truly would like to have. Awesome. I don't have a picture in my mind. That's cool. All I desire is clarity on goals, choices being aligned for it, and also letting go of other short-term exciting things or shiny things. So let me just say hi to everybody popping in. Hey, Eva. Hey, Janet. Hey, Patricia. Tell us where you're from. We have an international community. If you come on later, hey, Sonia. If you come on later, hashtag replay. I always check. Hey, Daniel. And write in your comments now. This is not a dialogue or monologue for those of you new to Congruent Living and Ask Susan. It's a conversation for creatives, for seekers, for people asking for more, right? That's where I come in. That's actually one of my specialties, is being present and being able to tap in and tune in and turn on to what's popping for you. So let's play with this for a minute. It actually had me thinking. All I desire is clarity, choices being aligned to it, and also letting go of other short-term exciting things or shiny things. So, and thinking about this, I became aware that for myself as well, because when you ask a question, we're all connected, right? So it's popping for me too. What is it like for me when I go into the future? And what is it that I haven't been willing to receive going into the future that I'm actually creating right now? We're connected to source. We are source, right? We are source energies. So everything that we're asking to be created is already here for us right now, because we are the source of all of that. You wouldn't be thinking of it or asking for it if it already wasn't there. The universe hasn't been working with you to create that. Did you ever notice you ask for something, if you're aligned vibrationally with it, it pops and it's like, oh yeah. And it could be something that you imagined 10 years ago and you put it out there and then went on to other things, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I've been asking for this for 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 10 years. Here it is, exactly what I was asking for, right? Or, gee, it's totally different than what I was asking for. But this actually matches the vibration of who I am right now and where I'm living from and my source energy. Yeah. So when we go into the future, my questions for you are what you're asking for with your future. And when I work with my clients on Congruent Living coaching, I'll ask them to go out 6 months. What is that like for you, right? Get a taste of it, right? It's not, oh yeah, I see a red car with blue tires and a yellow roof, but that could be kind of fun. It's more like, what does the energy of driving that kind of a car bring to you? Is it abundance? Is it joyous, right? Is it just for you, just for fun? Is it something that will create more for you and everyone you come in touch with, right? Are you getting a sense of that? What I became aware of is, myself included, is that it's about acknowledging and appreciating the sensations and the senses, right, of what you're asking with the future, to create with the future. So, again, with my clients, I'll say, well, I'd like this, or this. And my question is, okay, let's be with that now. Does that bring you joy, right? Does that bring you joy? Is that aligned vibrationally to what you're asking to create? Because if you go out and just ask to create something, well, I want to create a new business. I want to be a millionaire. I want a relationship. Are you willing to be the energies of what that is that will come into alignment with what you're asking for? Right? So Let's see some thumbs up, hashtag, yeah, I'm in, or hearts to know we're in the right lane here. As I say hi to more people coming in. Hey, Rika. Hey, Namarata. Hey, Daniel. Namarata, just on time. Yes. What questions can I ask to have conscious relationships in business? I love that. Thank you, Namarata. Allow me to play with that for a minute. So we often say, okay, I'm gonna do a mantra. I'm gonna do a clearing. I'm gonna meditate. Whatever that is for you. When you say, what questions can I ask? I'm gonna ask you, are you willing to be the energies of whatever that is for you, of whatever conscious relationships are for you? Are you willing to be that vibration and those energies of whatever that is for you with business? So go out into the future. How do you see yourself playing with your business, right? What is that for you? What does that bring to you, right? Because energies that resonate, and that's why it's congruent living and congruent living coaching, because it's what resonates with you and to you that creates the harmony. It's congruent in everything you be and do. So again, Namarata, thank you so much for this question. For everybody listening now and in the future, what questions to ask? Are you willing to be the energies of what it is that you are aware of that conscious relationships contribute to you, and the energies that you have in contributing to conscious relationships, right? What is it? What are those energies that you're aware of that contribute to you with conscious business? And what energies are you asking conscious business to contribute to you? Because there's a flow, right? We're always in flux. We're always in flow, right? And we're always shifting and changing and shifting and changing. And I don't mean like, it can be like totally change. Okay, I'm doing this instead of that. Cool. But is that congruent with who you be? Does it bring you joy? Right? Is there a happiness in your universe in choosing this? Or are you creating a frustration? Are you choosing from need or survival? Or are you choosing with thrival? Because that's who you be. Right? Because when we go to just ask a question without being the vibration. So let's say someone's asking a question. Let's say you're asking a question of, I'd like to have $6,000 in my bank account every month. Right? Are you willing to be the energy of that? Or do you keep looking at your bank account and say, damn, didn't happen. Or how am I going to do it? Or my money never comes in. Or I can't pay this bill. Do you see, you're asking for one thing. And you're telling the universe, I can't, it's not, it won't. Can I see some hearts on that one? Everybody get this? It's about being the energy of the question that you ask. So my question for you is, are you willing to be the energies of the question of what you're asking for? Right? And what is it that you're asking for? Are you Daniel actually is a wonderful client of mine, and we just did an energy ball together for what he is asking for, in the land that he's asking, in the abundance of what that is, of the nurturing of him, what that is part of his life and his living and his business. And he was willing to be the energy of what that would bring to him. Right? Because often when we ask a question, we're going to the energy of what that would bring, without being willing to be those energies. And he was willing to be those energies. Thanks, Daniel. I hope you don't mind me using you as an example. Hi, Anne-Marie. Welcome, welcome. Patricia. Okay, let me just go. I thank you for your question, Patricia Namarata. Let me know if that assists you. And is that assisting people? Is this assisting people? Let's see some hearts and thumbs up. Please. So I know I'm in the right place. Patricia, can you talk about how to be the energy of what you would like to create? Absolutely. I think I just did. I'll give you another example. So being the energy of what you would like to create, it's about being present with you. So if I go out 3 months from now, right? If I'm asking for the energies of abundance, of the texture of richness in my life and living, and for me that has to do with having, walks in the woods and food that tastes delicious and clothing that makes my body yummy and just being really present, right? Without judgment, without expectation, right? So if I'm asking for that in my business, right, I'm going to ask for those vibrations, those energetic connections, those congruent energies to be there in my business as well, right? What I'm asking for in my business, what I'm asking for in my life, what I'm asking for with my future. So I'm going to check in with me, with my inner source, and ask my inner source to contribute to me in creating and being present with those energies. So when you ask, can you talk about how to be the energy of what you would like to create? Tap into what you're asking to create. Are you tuned into what you'd like to create? Are you tapped in? Does it turn you on? Right? What influence are you under in asking to create with your creations? Check in with yourself. Are you under the influence of joy, of abundance, of happiness, of ever expansion, of being present, of receiving, of acknowledgement, of gratitude and kindness, right? Or are you under the influence of, that's what everybody else is doing, so I need to do that? Or I see what other people are doing, so I have to be that. Or I have to do this for my mom, my dad, my lover, my child, right? Tap into what influence am I under? So when you asked for a question, Namrata, before, my question would be, what influence am I? Check in with yourself. Patricia, let me know if this assists you at all, right? You want to check in, because what I did for myself, which was a huge aha, I keep asking questions of the future, asking questions for ascension, right? Asking questions of transformation, and realizing that the congruent energies that tie all of this together for me is joy, which I already am being and live in every day. So if I ignore the energies of joy for what I'm asking to create with the future, you see there's a disconnect, right? So I'm chasing something that is already here. Good thing we're cute, right? And so it's often about acknowledging. Namrata says, yes, it brings me joy. Grateful to you. Oh, thank you, Namrata. Oh, I'm so grateful for you. Janet, it seems I can't see a future for myself ahead. The things that I want. It seems I block it away totally and just see it for a week and a month or so. Maybe I block allowance for myself. Maybe. That's a great awareness. Ask yourself, so what does allowance for me look like? That's where I would begin, right? What does allowance for me look like? And what have you decided you are that you're not? And what have you decided you're not that you actually are, right? Thank you so much, Janet. I'm a big proponent of write it down. Have some sticky notes around. Right when it just pops for you, it's like, oh, write it down, and then ask yourself a question about that, right? So what is it that you do? Again, I love that, because me too, I've been looking, it's so funny, it's very funny, because for the last 2 years I was looking out into the future, and I was just like, well, what did I already know about COVID? What did I already know about what the shifts and changes in the world? And what did I know about what's going on and the influences of all the planets, And so what I was deciding that I needed to see was what I was already aware of was going to be created with the future. Now I could pivot and choose, which I have been pivoting and choosing, right? That's where I created Congruent Living Coaching. Because I'm like, wow, this actually brings me joy. Working with people in 6 months at a time, where it's just one-on-one, right? That's why I created the Infinite Laser Coaching, right? Where I'm working with people at their choice during the year, as many times or as little as they desire. Right? That felt like fun for me. So I wasn't seeing this with my future. I actually wasn't seeing anything. I was getting a sense that if I just kept focusing on what brought me joy, ignoring the rest, on what brought me joy. Diving in, what brought me joy? What systems do I require to put in place? Right? And so now, when I go out into the future, all of a sudden I get a sense of me painting more. I get a sense of the more and more ease with systems I have in place and working with my clients. I'm taking Fridays and Saturdays off. I'm not like busy on the computer anymore. So I might not have seen all of that, but that's why I'm asking you to connect with the vibrations, the energetic vibrations that are out there, that you are living, that you are creating. Those are what calls in your future. Because your future is actually here. When I say those are what calls it in, are you willing to receive what you are creating? Without judgment, right? No good, no bad, no right, no wrong. It's just like, oh, that's interesting. How did I create this? Great question to ask. If something isn't working for you energetically, how did you create that? Without going to the wrongness of it. And acknowledge and receive. Yeah, receive what that is creating for you, and does it work for you? Another great question. So would this work for me? And what influence am I under? When I ask you what influence I'm under, could be your own influence. There was something I was involved in for a long time, and I saw myself shifting and changing in ways that actually blew my mind, that were like opened up my body and energetically to clarity. And there were also ways that I saw myself shifting that actually didn't work for me. I'm like, who am I being? Right? Who am I being? Until I created my future to actually have me shift away from the influence that I was under, that had me actually being somebody else and not me, whatever that means. And yet I was choosing it. Right? But it didn't match the resonance of ease and joy and gloriousness and abundance that I truly be. So Jenna, I might have got a little off of where you were asking for. Let me know. I need the feedback, babe. Thank you so much. Hey, Lola. Yay, Daniel gave me 2 thumbs up. Thanks, Daniel. Namarata, how do we know if we are being that energy and maintain that every moment? Hey, Ilanka, how do we know? It's practice. Really, it's practice. It's the way that, you have a habit and that certain things are triggers. People know where to push your buttons because you have a habit of getting angry, getting distracted, being wounded, playing the victim. It's a habit. That's all. It's comfortable. It's like, oh, right? The more you shift the habit to a greater habit of asking, what am I receiving here? What is it that I'm aware of here? Just be quiet. No resistance, no reaction. Play with the habit of no resistance, no reaction, of appreciation and gratitude. That, if it's light, that's the energy that creates greater for you, right? If there's a heaviness there, ask yourself, so what influence am I under, right? What is it that I actually am asking to create? And am I willing to be that energetic vibration? Am I willing to match that energetic vibration? Think of it as 2 magnets, right? Here's the energy of what you're asking to play with, and here's the energy of what you're being, right? If the energy of what you're asking to play with is abundance, is success, is sexualness and sensualness, and you're dealing in survival, in judgment, in expectation, and expecting somebody to be your better half or whatever that is for you. The magnets, it doesn't happen, right? It doesn't happen. So you want to be that magnetic attraction to your future, with your future, because it's already here, right? It's already here. When you open up those lines of communication energetically to what you're asking to create, it all of a sudden the awareness pops in, right? And again, it's a habit, it's practice. Just the way that you were trained at a very young age to get pissed off when someone said this. How many of you have been told you're too kind, right? I remember my mom used to say to me, you're always for the underdog, whatever that means. Or I was working in a homeless shelter teaching women coming in off the street. I would come in once a week and we'd have art classes, right? And a lot of people said to me, oh, you have a huge capacity for pain. Well, that was in a with these women brought me joy. My art improved and was, all of a sudden I was in galleries. I was being more of me, right? I was being more of me. And that's matching the vibration of that inner source of who you truly be, the spark that shows up the human body for a human experience, right? Namrata, let me know if that assists you. Patricia, great explanation. Thank you, Patricia. Namrata, yeah, deeply grateful. Thank you so much. Oh, so true. Namrata says, Janet, gosh, when you say these questions, it shakes through me. Oh, thank you so much, Janet. Thank you. I'm so grateful for all of you. Yay, I love the feedback. Namrata, I knew I have a huge potency and was asking questions around congruency since some time now. Did I get so lucky? How did I get so lucky today? That's it. That's it. We were trained at a very young age to judge, to be under the influence of someone else in order to survive. Now's the time to ask, okay, so what habits do I actually have that aren't congruent with who I truly be and how I see the future? So, seeing the future again, do you see a future of possibilities? That's seeing the future. We totally misapply and misalign. How do you see the future, right? Because, when I have clients that come to me with congruent living coaching and I say, can you give me a sense of yourself 6 months from now? They could say happy. So I'm like, okay, so what does happy mean to you? Let's chunk it down, right? What would create that? What influences that? So it's okay not to see something physical, right? It's okay to get a sense of the energies. And it's like, I'll have that, thank you very much. I'll have that, thank you very much. Yeah, cool. Hey, Gita. Hello from Denmark. Hello, Gita. Hey, Marcy. Hey, Erica. Janet. Dear, I'm now in up and downs in emotions. Your questions are great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Especially what I never asked is if there is perhaps under the influence of someone else. I'm in a moment like, yes, absolutely. Yes, that's a great question to ask. So who am I under the influence of? Does this actually work for me? How many times have we agreed to create something, build something, fuck someone, eat something, right? Pay for something, and you're paying with who you truly be, right? And you're under you bought that you're under the influence of someone or something. Well, I did it because I wanted them to like me. I said it because I wanted them to like me. I slept with them because I wanted them to like me. So, right? So, I ate the food because I didn't want to upset them, meaning I wanted them to like me. So that's where you want to ask the question, wow, what have I decided liking me is all about? Right? What are the right energies of the expectations of people not liking me? Right? And I might ask, do you like yourself? This is popping for somebody who's listening on this call either now or in the future, because all of a sudden I got this trail of events. And by the way, that's one of the things that I love doing with Congruent Living Coaching is being present with whoever I'm working with, my clients, love my clients, and popping in and being able to tap in, to tune in and to turn on to what they're asking to create. If Congruent Living Coaching is popping for you, just direct message me and let's get on a call. Let's see what it is that you're bumping up against that actually you can't change, because everything's malleable, right? We're all molecules, and often you need just that support. You need that mentor behind you asking you questions, and that's me. That's my specialty, Congruent Living Coaching. Check it out on SusanLazarHart.com. Okay, what's coming up here? Gratitude, Sonali, gratitude for you too. Alanka, exactly to the target. Thank you, Alanka. Navarada says, wow, I love you. I love you too. Janet says, you're so great. I'm so grateful for you and your Q&A today. Right, the question, I turned a bit these days to come forward. Yay. Cool. Erica, paying with who you truly be. Yes. Thanks for that awareness. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. It's like, that's when I was like, wow, I turned around after many years and I was like, I lost me, or I'd given me up, or I traded me for what I thought was more valuable. And it was like such a huge awareness and so much gratitude with the question is like, oh, how did I create this? Oh, that's what I was choosing. Now I can actually choose greater. It's just that easy. Yeah. And that's playing with your future. Hey, Trisha, welcome, welcome. Erica says, wow. Hey, if you're coming late, we've had lots of juicy nuggets. So have a re-listen. If you come in late, hashtag replay. And if you have some questions after re-listening to this, pop them in here because I do come back and I do, you guys are my peeps, right? Ask Susan, we're going to our 5th year. And it's because of you. It's because of all of you showing up every Sunday and being present and asking your questions. So please keep asking. And guess what? We're going to have a party the last Sunday of this month. I'll put the date in here. I'll put the invite here. The first time we had a party, we had 3 people showing up. The second time in August, we had a party. We had, I think, 40 people signing up and 20 people showing up. I wonder what we're going to create this month. Yeah, I love it. So yes, it'll be, instead of the Ask Susan Sunday Live, it'll be on a Zoom because I want to see you, and there'll be some hot seat coaching, some tips and tools, and it's all about transformation this month. What are you transforming? How are you transforming? And I can't wait. Sonia says, that was huge. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. Gita says, I love this cue. Do you like yourself? Right? It's a big one. I adore you all. Come on over to the party. I'll put the link in here and sign up. As soon as you register, you'll get your invitation. Mark it on your calendar for your Zoom. So it's just us playing together. And then, of course, on Tuesdays, I will be on my personal page with a Congruency Quickie on transformation. So I adore you all. I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you all. Check it out. There's so much juiciness here. And thank you, says Janet. Thank you so much for the Q&A. You are so welcome. And thank you, Sonali Singh, for writing in the question and the comment. Again, you are important to me. And what you say is important to me. And the questions you're asking, well, that's who we be, right? Namarata, when I tap into myself, I'm abundance. What questions can I ask for it to show up? Start acknowledging. So here's the thing. I was going to say goodbye, but I'm just going to, you got me, Namarata. I can't resist. It's about being the energy of the questions that you're asking, right? So I know I talk a lot about, and I suggest what question can you ask, but are you willing to be the energies of the questions that you're asking, right? That's the key. Again, we're taught at a very young age to please people. So we just like, oh, survival, I'll do the, yeah, okay. Being silent, being present, being aware is not something that's respected or desired in this reality. So I'm asking you to push yourself beyond this reality. One of the things that I just heard recently in watching a documentary on Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who just passed away, and Google her if you don't know. I won't go into that right now. A brilliant leader. One of the things she said, somebody said about her, is that she never said in a sentence. She would say what she had to say and then take the time to think about where she wanted to go and then say it. That's actually one of the capacities that we're not encouraged to play with, which is just being present, she was willing to take that pause and be the energy of what she was asking to create in the world. And she has created a lot for women's rights, for civil rights, for equality. Before she passed on as one of the chief justices of the American government. So I hope this assists you, Namarata. It's what as for show up, physical, or just acknowledge, receive, how to receive completely for being me, why one creates separation while receiving too many questions. Yes, exactly. I love you, Namarata. Too many questions, okay? Ask, it's kind of like, okay, so I just had this visual. It's kind of like you go to the bank and instead of giving them your paper money and then your coins in different countries separately one at a time, you take it all and you dump it right on them and say, okay, you know, can I have this all in Canadian? And you're making them go through it all separately and take the time and, right? When you ask like 20 questions all at once, you're taking all of your brilliance and you're dumping it on yourself. And you're sitting there behind your own self saying, okay, how do I, okay, what currency is this? Ask one question. You know, re-listen to this. Ask one question. Be present with it. Be the energies of it. Let the universe know that you are talking, you're speaking, you're asking from you deep inside you, right? You as the creator. Be present with that. My question for you at Namrata is, are you willing to be the energies of what you're asking to create, no matter what the question, right? So chunk it down. That's what I do with my clients on Congruent Living Coaching. Chunk it down. That's what I do with myself. Today, if it doesn't bring me joy, I know I'm not going there, right? What would it take for this to be joyous? See, it's congruent. Joy. For me, it's joy. Joy locks in with creativity for me, right? When I know what I'm creating, it's joyous for me, right? So what is it that you're asking for with all your different questions? Chunk it down. Sit with yourself, right? Be present with you. Be present with you. Be present with you. That joyous, juicy being, those creative energies, those energies. What energies are you asking for in the questions that you're asking? And are you willing to be that? 2 questions. See, I lied, not 1, 2 questions. Janice says, that's great to turn it around for the cashier. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm such a visual, right? Hi, Namrata, yes, I'm willing to be the energy and pause and silence and present. So that's your home play, okay, for everybody. This is your home play. In transforming, where this is a month of transformation. Are you willing to be present? Be present. It's be present, because presence has to do with receiving. If you're always like, okay, what's my next question, and how you know, what else is possible, and how does it getting better than that? You see, you're building a wall. There's no place to receive. You're not giving yourself your body, your being, right? All of the energies of you to actually receive what you're truly asking for. Me too, Gita says. The color of joy and creativity. Yay, 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 yay. Cool. Gita says, thank you. Susan, you're willing to show up, be and do and play with a question and you're present. Thank you so much, Gita. Thank you. Namrata says, beautiful. Thank you so much. Yay. Just wow. Awesome. Susan, filling the space in a conversation because we can then move on without being present. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And how many of us were taught that as long as you keep saying something, so what, right? It's not the loudest person that fills the room. Have you ever been in a room or at a meeting where there's somebody who's just sitting quietly listening to everything? And when they're asked to speak at the end of the meeting, they actually have just condensed everything into a beautiful awareness, right? So everywhere you were taught that the loudest gets the most, right? You're the only one that counts. It's your awareness. You're the one that looks at you in the mirror when you go to bed at night, when you brush your teeth. Hopefully you're brushing your teeth. I always say I'm the last person that I see before I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning, and I want to be, I'm just going to say, proud of me, right? So I acknowledge, receive, and embrace what I have been creating today, who I am being, and what I am willing to be and do. And then I ask for all of the energies to assist me in creating with the highest form of who I came here to be and do. See if that works for you. I adore you. Thank you so much. This has just been so awesome. Live boldly, love greatly, be that fearless leader you came here to be. Because the world needs more of you. More of those creative, juicy energies vibrating around. More of those congruent beings that you truly be, right? Just sprinkling your dust, your generosity, your kindness, your abundance. I wonder what we can create together. See you on Tuesday on my personal page for Congruency Quickie. And don't forget to sign up for the party. Last Sunday of the month, we are going to partay with transformation. Mwah! I love ya. Bye-bye.